Listen, it's true. We're all trying to eat better. But healthy breakfast doesn't have to be boring! Because Magic Spoon has the amazing flavors you love, but without all the bad stuff. 0 grams of sugar, 13 to 14 grams of protein, 4 net grams of carbs, and only 140 calories a serving. Magic Spoon is keto-friendly, gluten-free, grain-free, soy-free, and low-carb. You can build your own box from their 9 available flavors. The hits: cocoa, fruity, frosted, peanut butter, cookies and cream, maple waffle, blueberry muffin, cinnamon roll, and honey nut. That's a given. Even more exciting? Magic Spoon just brought back their cereal bars. They were so popular that they brought them back permanently. It's the perfectly convenient, on-the-go companion for your cereal. That's the Magic Spoon way, isn't it? Get a little taste of that limited edition goodness before they bring it back for real. Thank you, Magic Spoon, for bringing it back for real. Go to magicspoon.com/nodunks to grab a custom bundle of cereal. And be sure to use our promo code NODUNKS at checkout to save $5 off your order. Magic Spoon is so confident in their product, it's backed with a 100% happiness guarantee. So if you don't like it for any reason, Magic Spoon's gonna refund your money, no questions asked. Remember, get your next delicious bowl of guilt-free cereal at magicspoon.com/nodunks. Use the code NODUNKS to save $5 off. Thank you to Magic Spoon for sponsoring this classic episode of No Dunks.
If there are any spirits here tonight, tell me, does this sound like Shakira?
Good morning, sweet world, and welcome to the No Dunks podcast on the Athletic Network. It's Tuesday, June 7th. Here we are in the Classic Factory. I'm J.E. Skeets, and alongside me, as always, Tass Mellis.
Hello, everybody.
Hey, Tass. We got our Top Shot Hot Boys right there. That's Trey Kirby.
Hey-o.
Hey-o. The international man of mystery. Taking it to the barber shop. Leigh Ellis. New cut for Leigh.
Yeah. Well, needs a little work by the looks of it. Yeah.
Loving the bangs.
Yeah. Just a little trim.
Okay. And last, certainly not least, super producer, JD.
Hello.
There he is. Here we are. Shout out to the stream team joining us live right now on YouTube. Subscribe, like, comment, share the show. Do all those things. Email in your NBA questions to nodunks@theathletic.com. Quick programming note for the rest of the week here. Trey and Leigh, they're headed to Boston later today for games 3 and 4 of
Hence
the NBA
haircut.
Finals. Yeah, that's why you got the haircut.
Gotta get fresh for a trip, yeah.
Because you got to put a green hat on at some point.
That's
you
right.
can't have all that hair there getting in the way. So you guys are headed later today. Make sure you're following No Dunks, if you don't already, on Twitter, on Instagram, on TikTok, Facebook, at No Dunks Inc. Here, of course, on YouTube, because you guys are going to be dropping social content all week long when you're in Boston. That's the plan.
So.
You
That's
eating
the plan.
lobsters,
Yeah.
pantsing John Schumann, I don't know. Fun stuff like that.
I'm going to lay on the ground, put my feet on John Schumann, and then when we both stand up, I'm going to try to pull his pants
Oh,
down.
wow.
Yeah.
Okay, recreate the
exactly
Jalen
right.
Brown, Draymond Green. Yes, okay.
Put my shoes on that man.
So, unless major NBA news...
That's nice.
Unless major NBA news drops tonight, like something big would have to happen, there's going to be no daily podcast live at 10 a.m. Eastern here from the Classic Factory tomorrow. That's Wednesday, okay? Instead, I think the plan is for Trey and Leigh, you guys are going to jump online later in the afternoon to get everybody ready for Game 3. Give us the sights and sounds of, warm up and shoot around and all that
The
stuff.
plan is for us to go to shoot around in the morning
There we
there
go.
tomorrow, rub shoulders with some of the big wigs, get some stories, take a few snaps, have a few laughs.
And then
See
do
what
like a
happens.
little mini podcast in the afternoon on Wednesday.
Probably around 3 Eastern, something like that,
Okay.
but we'll see. Yeah.
Okay, good. And then, of course, we'll go live immediately following Game 3 of the NBA Finals on late Wednesday night, little mini reaction podcast, and we'll be talking to either one or both of you guys, live from Boston. Maybe
We're
you
gonna have to
could...
experiment with our dongles.
Excuse me?
Yeah. Lee and I got adjacent rooms, so we're going to try and experiment with our dongles.
Yeah.
See if we can
Wow.
both hook up.
Yeah.
That's going to be quite
We'll open the door in between, stick the dongle right in the middle, cord to cord. So we're sharing a room, but not really.
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus, all right.
We've thought about everything
It's
here.
going to be a fun
I told Lee I
late
was
night
eating
show.
beans exclusively when we were there. He said, we cannot share a room.
No, that's good though, because then we can use that as a dongle as well, the old-fashioned way, like to sort of connect our computers. You know, you used to do the telephone. Maybe we can do that with a can of beans.
Jesus Christ.
We haven't even left yet.
So, look, this is the type of content that you can expect here in the
3
coming
p.m.
days. Two men and their dongles from Boston. And then Thursday and Friday, basically business as usual here from the Classic Factory. Though, no, sorry, not the Classic Factory. We'll be in the yard. JD, you're going to be off on Thursday and Friday. So Andrew Schlecht, once again, filling in for our guy JD.
I should remind him, actually. I haven't.
Yeah.
I mean, he said he would a month or two ago.
Well, he's busy with like the draft picks that the Thunder have. I always see him tweeting about that. So you better remind him that
I will.
Schlecht is filling in there on Thursday and Friday. Okay. We're not talking about the finals really much today. Instead, we got a bunch of other NBA news and notes. And we're going to start with this one. It's juicy, I think, from The Athletic.
Yeah.
Deandre Ayton, he's going to be a restricted free agent this offseason. And sources tell The Athletic's John Hollinger and James Edward III that it's more likely than not that Ayton is going to be leaving the Suns. And because of Ayton's restricted free agency status, Hollinger thinks that a sign and trade is probably the most probable scenario. So let's break this down. I guess the question off this task is, where is Ayton playing next season? Is he still with Phoenix, or do you buy what Hollinger and Edwards is selling us, and then he might be gone?
Well, yes, I'm buying it because there were, some hints of a fracture there in the locker room, but this is big. The fact that it feels like he's not going to be there next year, and I mentioned the locker room because there's got to be some serious issues between Deandre Ayton and Monty Williams and the rest of the team, that he wants a bigger role, that they obviously don't see eye to eye, that they're willing to move on from a 23-year-old whose rights they control. That's shocking to me. There must be a real issue there in the locker room, because from the outside looking in, he's young. He's obviously promising. You can sign him to a 4-year contract and then trade him later, which is the route they may go, but it sure feels like he's not going to be there for a very long time. And it's shocking because they offered him a 4-year contract last year. It wasn't that long ago. Obviously, there's things he can't do. And maybe from a number 1 pick, you want him to be a little bit more aggressive, to get to the free throw line a little bit more. But he's 17 and 10. And 17 is a number that sticks out in my head because he only played 17 minutes in that final game, that final debacle against the New Orleans Pelicans. And I guess that's just a culmination of everything that's gone wrong with him in the front office / coaching staff, where they said, you're not playing. You're done. Maybe he doesn't work hard enough. Maybe he doesn't see eye to eye with Monty Williams. I don't think it's just Chris Paul not getting along with another center named DeAndre. I think it's beyond that. And I don't know if it's irreparable. It seems like I don't think they can fix this. And John Hollinger and James Edwards go into the discussion about where he's going, likely a sign and trade. But if you're doing a sign and trade, you're not getting back the best value. I don't think you're not. This isn't a guy who signed to a deal, and maybe that's why they end up signing him to a deal and then trading him, like Trey said yesterday. Teams are more likely to sign stars and then trade them at some point in their contract because they're likely to get better value. And James Edwards and John Hollinger on The Athletic go into potentially Jeremy Grant. If he looks like that kind of player, who is obviously a complimentary player in this league, could be the best thing that they would get back. And that sort of makes sense to me. And the Pistons make a heck of a lot of sense to me.
Yeah, if you remember Jake Fisher with Bleacher Report about a month ago had reports that the Suns were reluctant to pay maybe any center $30 million plus. So there's that. And then there's this Monty Williams maybe griping a little bit with Ayton's focus, I think, was sort of the report coming out from Fisher. So, yeah, this is Hollinger and Edwards now saying, yeah, this might be true here, and they don't want to pay him that much and try and get something back in a side trade. So you think the Pistons could make some sense. Do the Suns really want Jeremy Grant in a sign and trade scenario here? Does that entice you all that much if you're Phoenix? Is it, or just a case of getting anything back in return? What do you think?
I think it's a case of trying to get something back in return. If you know that Ayton's not going to be sticking around, the only way they can smooth it over is by giving him the max at this point. I really think by saying, actually, the posturing we've done for the entire year, we were completely faking it on that one. We're going to pay you everything we possibly can, and that doesn't seem like what's going to happen for Phoenix. So if he's going to leave, you can't just let him sign somewhere else and not match the deal and just lose your starting center, a guy you drafted number 1 overall 4 seasons ago, who is a solid player. Like, Deandre Ayton isn't Luka Doncic from that draft, but he's in the top 10 of starting centers in the NBA, you would think. He's had great games in an NBA Finals, but then, like Taz is saying, against the Mavericks, the Suns lost their last 2 games by 60 points, and now you look back and you're like, whoa, that 17 minutes is very strange that he played in that Game 7 against Dallas, especially with the way he went off the floor with Monty. He's basically, like, complaining that nobody's passing him the ball, which was happening. But, I mean, Jeremy Grant, I think, it's definitely a downgrade for the Suns. I think Jeremy Grant would be a perfect piece to add to this team if Deandre Ayton is there, because now you're losing your starting center, which you're going to need. You're not going to get the same production from JaVale McGee and Bismack Biyombo that you get from Deandre Ayton. But, I mean, if he's going to go, I would rather have Jeremy Grant than no Jeremy Grant and no Deandre Ayton, but this is bad stuff, I do think, for the Suns to be potentially losing a number 1 pick 4 seasons into his career.
He's got a bit of a Ben Simmons to him, though, DeAndre Ayton. And by that, I mean, if you look at his numbers in his rookie season to where they are now and where his averages are, pretty much a flatline. He's improved his field goal percentage. Other than that, in his rookie season, he was 16-10. This season, he was 17-10. Still doesn't get to the free throw line. As an improved defender...
Yeah, but he's not an elite rim protector.
No, he's not.
Sure.
But he's
good and decent.
And he's a good player as well, but hasn't also taken that leap where it's like, okay, you can see the improvement. He's really worked on his game in this part of it. Instead, he's basically putting up the same numbers, and then it dips a little in the playoffs there. He's also a little bit injury prone. So I think the Suns are looking at all this and thinking, like, I don't know if we want to lock this guy up. But I would say to the Suns, you probably got to look around and say so many other teams would pay him that. So why don't you at least play that card? Say we are going to play. We are planning on paying him that. If you guys want it, you're going to have to go to that level, and then we can maybe figure out a sign and trade. Because a young guy at this age, so many teams will see the promise and the upside and go, I think we can work with that. We're prepared to pay him that money, even if the Suns aren't. But I also wonder, and we sort of talked about this season, the way that Biyombo came in and played really well with Chris Paul, JaVale McGee was very good as well. Did the Suns go, you know what? I don't know if we actually need to pay that much money.
I think what Fisher was saying, that they look at this, the landscape of the NBA even, and go, do you really need to pay a center $30 million? Or can you get production from other guys for much less money? I think that's what they're thinking.
Like, and how much of DeAndre Ayton is just Chris Paul anyway? And like, if you can get another youngish piece to sort of go in there, a little bit cheaper. But I just think it does look bad on the Suns if they're kind of like, we're hesitating on this. We're prepared to give him. Jeremy Grant, I talked about the other. I don't know if it was on the show or off the show. He's the most overvalued player. He's rumored to be in every look,
he's going to the Hawks. He's going to the Blazers.
He signed a perfect deal at the perfect time to like come and be an almost free agent during a season when there's not a lot of great free agents. Like Zach LaVine's probably the biggest name in the class right now. So Jeremy Grant's looking nice. He's got that Team USA pedigree. We all remember like one series that he played with the Nuggets a couple of seasons ago. We're like, ooh.
I think you summed it up there. It's if the Suns could add him just in the off season, great.
Sure, it's exactly what they were missing.
But in terms of like if the best you can get back is Jeremy Grant for a young player with this sort of potential, I think that's a huge loss for the Suns. You've got to be able to get more than that from the guy you took number 1 only a few years ago. So we'll see. But Ayton, there are times where you look at him and think, man, he's really improving his game, but then the numbers don't really back that up. It's more it's just he's playing in a slightly different way. So and his minutes also dropped from last season in the regular season to this season. So there's definitely some friction there with Monty Williams. But at the same time, Ayton's probably not shown that he's ready for a bigger role.
And then to add to that, there are rumors off of the floor this guy is not all that dedicated to getting a lot better here. I mean, he's more dedicated to his video games, is what they say. That he's up late at night. I mean, but I guess if they're like, come on, man, you're number 1 pick. You look at the tools you have. Get better, get better, get better. I'm just saying. I'm not
it probably bugs Chris Paul.
Sure.
That's what I would guess, is that it probably bugs Chris Paul, but like, Trae Young plays video games. People play video games. People are up late in the NBA. It's fine.
Yeah. But you should also want to pair it with getting better, I guess.
You want DeAndre Ayton to go shoot free throws at 3 a.m? Is that what people are saying? I mean, the Suns lift after every game. They made that quite apparent. They were showing off how much they were working. I do not care at all. He can sleep 1 hour a night as long as he shows up and gets 20 and 10 every night. which he's not doing. Go to the free throw line. That's what he needs to do.
That's
go to
easy.
the free throw line, which is why I don't actually love the pairing with Cade Cunningham. That guy doesn't get to the free throw line at all. And if your point guard and your center are not getting to the free throw line, they're going to have the ball the most. Not the greatest pairing. That being said, if Detroit can get Deandre Ayton,
Do it.
they got to do it.
It is very funny now. We're talking about video games. Is that going to be on guys' draft reports? Like skills, 20 and 10. Cons, plays video games at night. I understand that maybe he's not the most dedicated guy, but the Suns misplayed their hand. They could have signed him last year for a 4-year deal and then traded him because people want him for a better package then. Now it seems like they're sort of under the gun and have to trade him for something that isn't as good as they could have got if he signed to a 4-year deal, if he wants to leave as is. That being said, I know Jeremy Grant has gone from undervalued to overvalued, but you can't get enough wings in this league, and he would help the Phoenix Suns tremendously, I think. Even if he's the talk of the town and he's not the same guy that a lot of people think he is. He is a bit overvalued, but look back at those numbers and that one series. I don't think this is a Jerome James situation. I think this is a really, really solid player, again, who plays a really good position.
The other potential sign and trade proposal that Hollinger had in that article was the Spurs, who do have cap space, could just straight up offer the deal there, and we're talking 4 years, 131 for a rival team to offer to Ayton, where the Suns, of course, could go up to 5 years, 177 million, I think it's projected. But Pirtle and Keldon Johnson is what Hollinger threw out for Ayton in some sort of sign and trade. What do you think of that one from either side?
I would still prefer to have Ayton in that deal. I think Keldon Johnson, we don't know enough about him yet. Pirtle's good, solid, probably a better defender, but nowhere near as good offensively as Deandre Ayton. It's fine, but I think there's better out there if you're the Suns. I mean, if you're getting those guys back in return, again, I think you're getting pennies on the dollar.
That's interesting you say that, because some Spurs fans, we go, are you crazy? We're not. They're high on Keldon Johnson.
I know. They're high.
He's young. He's 22.
Yeah. I look, he's fine. But I mean, how when they say they're high.
So hold on. You from the Spurs side of things, you think that's a no-brainer? Bring in Ayton as your center.
I think it's
Keldon
an upgrade.
Johnson and Pirtle. Okay.
I think so. Yeah. I mean, on the surface, but again, it's very early, and teams tend to be pretty biased towards their own players as well. Fans.
Yeah. He scored 17 points per game.
Wow, that is more than I expected.
I mean, it's good. He is really good. What do you think of that Spurs Suns sign and trade?
I think Ayton, to me, doesn't seem like a very Spursy player. He's very much focused on the bag. This guy is getting paid for sure, but he would probably be awesome on the Spurs. They would figure out the right way to use him. You would get more defensively, I think, from Ayton. I think he would be an upgrade there. He's certainly better than Pirtle. But Pirtle and Johnson, to me, is not enough. I'm with Leigh. I mean, Keldon Johnson did have a solid season, but he's the number 2 option on a pretty bad team, so he should be putting up those sort of numbers. I guess of all the teams that Hollinger mentioned, the Trailblazers are probably the most interesting to me. They've got Nurkic as a free agent, but I guess he could kind of be part of this sign and trade. Then the Suns are getting a center back since they wouldn't have any on the roster. Ayton, definitely an upgrade on Nurkic, I think. Could be a good use of the number 7 pick as well for the Blazers, which might be something the Suns would be interested in, either adding a young guy to continue building for the future or to ship it for some sort of veteran help on the wing as well. So I guess the Blazers is probably who I would be most interested in seeing Ayton play for, but that's is that something that the Suns would want to do, is trade to a team they're going to be facing in the playoffs time and time again? Who knows? That holds teams up sometimes.
What do you think about any of the other teams? Hornets, Hawks, like Trace brought up the Blazers, or even back to that Spurs one, or are you locked in more on the idea of him playing in Detroit if they can make it happen? The
Pistons should just acquire talent as much as possible, but the Blazers is a good one. Their last 6 months has gone pretty poorly. They traded away C.J. McCollum, trying to tank to get a great pick. If they can turn the number 7 into Deandre Ayton, because they're trying to show Damian Lillard that they're building, I think that is brilliant if they can pull that off. And Deandre Ayton, I think, would get opportunity there that he wants. I mean, it feels funny. It feels like we're waiting for the Los Angeles DeAndre Jordan situation to figure itself out. Where's he going? Not just because both these guys are DeAndres, but also because it feels like he wants a bigger role, and he wasn't getting it in Phoenix. But Yeah, I guess he just didn't work hard enough. I mean, I guess that's why they don't see eye to eye.
All right, our next topic here. Last week, Commissioner Adam Silver said the NBA is considering switching the voting process for all NBA selections from the current position-based system to one where voters just select the 15 best players regardless of position. Silver said he plans to address it with the National Basketball Players Association. Silver also said there will be more discussions about whether contract bonuses will be tied to media awards voting, but he added that both sides have agreed that that is like the best of a series of imperfect options, that this is what obviously the Players Union and then the NBA came to agree on. So this is why we have this. But, Trey, do you think the league needs to tweak the voting process? Either one of those that Silver was talking about for all NBA selections.
Yeah, I got kind of different thoughts on both of the parts of it. The positions and the voters. I'm coming around on positions because I like what Adam Silver is saying, more than just dropping centers and making it like all-star voting where you have 2 backcourt and 3 frontcourt. He's saying a top 15. That's cool. People love ranking stuff.
Right.
It won't solve anything. Instead of arguing over the first versus second team center, we'll be arguing over number 5 and number 6. I also think it's pretty funny that, they've had 2 great centers playing for the past 2 seasons. So the solution is to get rid of centers on the ballot. Very NBA move to me. People are complaining, so we got to change something. Then they're just going to complain about something else, which will lead to another change. As for the voters, Silver's saying what Jason Tatum said and what I said. Something isn't right. Something needs to change. What should it be? There's not a suggestion. There's no suggestion here. And like Adam Silver mentioned, all sides agreed on this in the collective bargaining agreement that this would be the best way to do it with no bias, because it's like, are the players going to be unbiased? Not a chance. Are the general managers going to be unbiased? Not a chance.
Nope.
Are the media going to be unbiased? Not a chance. So I don't know exactly what the solution is, but Silver's like, we're going to look at it. We're going to look at it. And if you guys see anything, you tell me. And then we might figure something out, because there's just not a great solution here, except for, of course, the NBA Supreme Court. We have a small number of voters for the Finals MVP, for the Conference Finals MVPs as well. Bill Russell, Jerry West, Kareem, Larry, Magic, Michael Jordan, Allen Iverson, Dirk, and Wade. Those guys vote on everything.
The Supreme Court.
The Supreme Court.
Okay.
They've all got some serious credentials. Everybody but Iverson's got a title. They've all got MVPs except for Wade. It's the entire spectrum of generations throughout the years. Just let those people vote on it.
Okay, what do you think of this?
Yeah, I do think there is something there. I really do.
Supreme Court.
Yeah, I do. I like it because.
Do you want it all former players? Do you want to get some you want to get Hubie in there? Do you want to mix it up? You could do a little bit.
Well, Hubie's a Hall of Fame coach, I believe. Yeah. So
but I'm saying media coach.
Yeah.
I'm just taking Trey's idea and maybe making it a little broader.
I think if you're in the Hall of Fame, then that's your eligibility. So
right.
then that's how you qualify. But I also think a lot of this is to do with the contract bonuses, and if you meet certain criteria, you get the ability to sign for more. So maybe also just remove that. And if the team wants to sign you to whatever the max is, they should be able to sign you to it. So then it's not like only if you make this, only if you make all NBA, only if you do a certain thing, because there isn't a perfect formula. Because if you say, well, let's just do it on a statistical basis, then you're going to have someone who's on there who's maybe not deserving, but they maybe met the criteria for a statistic. And then what is it? Is it points? Is it rebounds? Is it assists? Is it some points, some rebound, top 5 rebounds, whatever? So I like the fact that Adam Silver knows, it's not perfect. We have to try to find a solution. But I do think the biggest problem the players have is that their bonuses are tied to it, and that's what they don't like. So remove that part of it, and then give this Supreme Court chance a shot.
And then a no-brainer, I assume you think, just get rid of positions, just give us the 15 best players, because you've said that before.
Yeah, I have said that before, and I think, again, that's when it does eliminate this guy who finished second in MVP voting couldn't make the first All-NBA team. I think you should automatically be on that first All-NBA team if you are in the top 3. If you're the top 3 players in the league, you should be on that first team. And it's not a game you play. It's more the accolade. It's more the end of season recognition. So yes, I think so.
Okay, Tass, thoughts on all of this?
Take the MVP voting and apply it to all NBA. Done and done. You got your top 5, make the first team. Next 5, make the second team. You probably don't have 15 votes, but we'll figure that part out. But this year it would have been perfect. It was Jokic, Embiid, Giannis, Devin Booker, and Luka Doncic. It was perfect. That's the first 5, and that's what you should do. We don't need a vote on everything. The voters get tired. Oh, let's vote on all rookie and all defense. I mean, they start. Tired's not the right word, but they start not caring about every single vote that they have to vote for. I do agree that the guys who are getting paid more, the 35% of the cap, when you use that Derrick Rose rule, when guys make all NBAs or MVPs or whatever they get, yeah, just give it to one guy. I think Lee's right. Just make it so there's one slot on a team, and it shouldn't be connected to awards. I don't think. It just has to be a decision made by a front office. Done and done, I think.
Well, sticking with Silver's press conference, the commish also said that he is open to reducing the length of the regular season. Here we go again with this. These comments absolutely set off Richard Jefferson, who said the idea of the NBA shortening its 82-game season makes, quote, absolutely no sense. In fact, RJ believes that the league is becoming too soft, and shortening the season will take away from the difficulty of playing basketball at the highest level. Quote, I'm going to give you a part here. If you haven't seen it, seek out Jefferson's little rant about this. But, quote, you want to shorten the season? How much more do we have to make this coddling and all this stuff go with the players? Professional sports is not good on your body. It's supposed to separate the people that can do it from the people that can't do it. Part of greatness is longevity. End quote. Jefferson had more to say about this, but Leigh, should the NBA shorten its season, or does Jefferson have a point here? Are you siding with what RJ was going off about?
RJ sounds a bit like an old man get off my lawn, because I think that's what was the mentality in the 80s and 90s. Get out there and play every single game. But I think as we've evolved and technology's gotten better, and we've got sports scientists saying, listen, it's probably better if you don't play all these 82 games, because then the longevity of the back end of your career will be extended. And Richards have to look at some of the players in the league. How many star players look at the season and go, 82 games, I'm playing 70, 75 this year. I'm load managing, which is, I think, a smart approach to again, prolonging your career. It doesn't.
You think the players are doing that?
I think the players are, for sure. I think
a lot of people push back on them, saying the players are not usually the ones saying, I don't want to play basketball. Well, it's the staffs, the medical team saying, you shouldn't. Our science says you should be taking off these back-to-backs, 4 and 5s, 5s and 7s.
But I think players are saying, no, I'm taking off some games throughout the season. I mean, Kawhi Leonard took his 3rd game off for the Raptors, and now he blew out his knee anyway, so it doesn't necessarily, make it necessarily better for you. But I think we just have to look at it, and the owners aren't going to change the length of the season because it's money for them. It's revenue. It's people coming in the doors. So if you shorten the regular season and then do this mid-season tournament, ultimately it's the same way of getting, or a different way of getting to the same amount of games, if not more. But I'm just a little surprised that Richard Jefferson's saying, they're coddling the players and things like that. I mean, it's better, I think, for the players to play better games. The NFL, the biggest advantage the NFL has over the NBA is every game feels like it's must win.
Of course.
Whereas the NBA, we have couple of games at the end of the season, they've just added the play-in, which feel so must-winny. They're so much fun. Now you have to figure out a way to get the other 82 games to feel that same way. I think there's just too many games. I would reduce the season, but I know that's not going to happen. I think less is more in this situation. Get better quality games, even if it means fewer of them throughout the season. But I also understand going to an owner and say, we're going to take 5 home games, 5 home gates away from you this season. They're like, no, we don't care the quality of the game. We just want games out there. We want the revenue every single night. So that's what's not going to change.
What do you guys think of Jefferson's comments?
Is Richard Jefferson a hot take merchant? I don't know.
HTM.
He's a burgeoning hot take merchant, I would say. My biggest take on this is that he says that if they shorten the season, there's still going to be rest days. I don't think that would be the case. I would think if they shorten the season, you would see less rest days. You're getting a better product on the court, and it makes the regular season more important. But on the other hand, the NFL's lengthening their season. I bet they wish they could play 82 games, even though they only got 17. So Lee's right. Things probably won't change to the extent that, some of the front offices would like with their players sitting. Because I'm kind of with you, Skeets. I think it's mostly that the players want to play, but management is coming and saying it is probably better if you don't play, know better, do better. So the players are taking their advice and trying to lengthen their careers. I thought it was interesting what Silver said, though, is that the length of the season doesn't necessarily affect injuries, right? Like you're not more likely to get injured in game 82 than you are in game 58, but you're more likely to get injured in game 58 if you've played 3 games in 5 nights than if you've played 1 game in 5 nights. So shortening the season gets the best product on the court. But I think that the NBA wants just product on the court, more so than the best product.
What do you think, Tess?
Well, I think they are implementing this potential midseason tournament to lessen the games, and there wouldn't be the exact same amount of games. There'd be less for many of the teams when you equal it out, and that is money for everybody else. So I think they will think about shortening the season because they should. Why can't things get better? I mean, we just watched a clip of Jack Nicholson smoking on the sideline. That doesn't happen anymore in an NBA game because things got better. They don't truck out these players to play 82 games and then not give them the care that they need because they want things to get better. That's what the goal in life is. Why can't it be better? Richard Jefferson, he was a very durable player. Maybe he's speaking from his own position, for his own experience. Extremely durable player in 17 years. So I don't understand why you call it coddling. People just want the best product out there, and why not want that for NBA fans, for NBA owners? And I think Adam Silver's just trying to find that balance. He's trying to find money for everybody as well. That's part of it. But this midseason tournament is trying to find a balance. If everybody plays 10 less games, but they play 6 more games in the tournament, but that has this advertising umbrella on it, then there's money to be had.
You think that's really going to happen? That we're going to go from
possible.
82 games to, let's say, 72, but we'll have this midseason tournament?
I think
Because a lot of people
we're
think you
going
add a
that
midseason
direction.
tournament, we're adding more games, not taking away
No,
some.
when they did the math,
Yeah.
there's no way it's more games. It's less games for some teams. There's no way they would do that.
Maybe split the difference, not down to 72, closer to a
Yeah,
76
I mean,
or
the
78.
report is out. The report is out from when they talked about it. They're working towards that. They're working towards taking care of the knees. Guys used to play only 12 seasons. Now they play potentially 17, 18. Things are getting better. I don't understand why we need to drill these guys into the ground. It doesn't really make sense now, does it?
I guess Jefferson's saying you can go one direction too far though, because he also added now they get a week plus off at All-Star break, and obviously
We
this
said
whole
3.5
back-to-back.
days.
Well, this is what I think RJ's doing. I was thinking about this. This is like us 20 years from now, where we're done this, and we find out, well, there's a daily podcast, but they're not really daily. They only gotta go 3 days a week. Gotta save the voice a little bit, save their hot takes. They get a good break off at All-Star Week. We would be the ones go, oh, God, come on. You're coddling the podcasters.
No, we should be doing that.
What?
We would perform way better.
Oh, geez.
That's what people are doing. That's what people talk for 3 hours on a Tuesday, 3 hours on a Friday, call it a week. And they feel better. But yeah, he's probably, old man yells at cloud a little bit.
Sure.
And yeah, he played 1,200 games. He was extremely durable. So.
He always got the All-Star weekend off, though, and
Oh, that would have been a great
Nice one.
he was in the dunk contest, believe it or not. 2003.
I'm surprised he didn't make
Richard
that up,
Jefferson.
the All-Star game.
I don't remember
he was
him in the
close.
dunk contest.
No.
Some hops.
But he could throw down, yeah.
Yeah, he could, yeah.
Hit some bunnies. All right. Well, this is going to be a fascinating one, I'm sure, in the stream team and the comments and all that. Thoughts on Richard Jefferson's rant about this. And, McCollum and Reddick have talked about it since, I know, in the last couple of days, and sort of pushed back against Jefferson. And, McCollum, a current player, Reddick, a little just removed from the league, so they have different opinions on this.
We're so married to this 82 games. Who gives a flying poop? Because somebody once upon a time said this is how many games they should play. Who cares? Well, who cares? Why not shorten it? Why are we married to some number? If it's 72, are we going to sit back and yearn for the days of 82?
Oh, we had 72 just last season.
Yeah.
People don't want to learn something new.
Yeah, of course.
They
it's
still
easy.
forget that there were only 72 games last season and that there were 66 before, right?
Yeah.
People forget about that stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, next one here. Darvin Ham said he
Ham
thinks...
bone!
Yeah, Darvin Ham, baby. He said he thinks Russell Westbrook still has a ton left in the tank during his official introduction as Lakers head coach on Monday. Quote, "Don't get it messed up. Russell is one of the best players our league has ever seen," Ham said. He still has a lot left in the tank. Defensively, he went on to say, is where you're going to see us make our biggest leaps and bounds. So my question is, I thought this was a great official introduction for a head coach. I love seeing Ham and his giant head talking hoops. Key takeaways, though, from Ham's press conference task, either about Westbrook or things he said about AD or anything about the Lakers.
I love Darvin Ham. First, we all get excited for his last name. What about his first name? Great.
It's a great name overall. You're right, Darvin Ham.
Yes, and a great press conference. Westbrook was in attendance, standing there watching, and Darvin Ham brought the goods. He complimented Russell Westbrook by saying he is one of the best of all time, and he's got a lot left to give. Listen, me watching this, I was ready to run through a wall for Darvin Ham. I appreciate the way he speaks, and I think he's going to get a lot out of his players. This year, the Lakers stunk on defense. It was only the season before this year that they were number 1. And obviously, player personnel changes.
Yeah.
So the number 1 in defense was going to fall off, but they also just lacked the attitude. And I think Darvin Ham can bring that attitude, and he's going to ask that of Russell Westbrook. Now, Westbrook's not going to shut anybody down.
If he can get Westbrook playing defense and changing his game, you can give Darvin Ham Coach of the Year right now.
I know. He's not going to be shutting anybody down. But if he can be gambly, steely Westbrook, if he can even just get in the lanes Westbrook, that's a big improvement to me. Maybe we're talking about Dwight Howard late career. You remember when we were daily podcasting in 2013, 2014, 2015, 2016, 2017, we were saying, is this the year Dwight Howard comes back to form? Is this the year? No, this is the year. No, this is the year. And then when he finally got to the Lakers, that was his best year. Obviously, it wasn't anywhere close to a
smaller role.
But I think that's what we're saying about Russell Westbrook. If Darvin Ham can reduce his minutes, it's going to be a challenge. It's going to be a challenge to ask Russ to reduce his minutes, reduce his role somewhat, but you can still be a starter. You just have to work on defense. And if there's anyone up to the task, it feels like after one press conference, after 30 minutes listening to this man talk, that it could be Darvin Ham. I think he's got the guts to be the Lakers head coach, and he's going to ask his players to play some defense.
Right. Hold them accountable. I thought it was great too. What did you think, or key takeaways from Ham's press conference?
I'm not a big ham fan. Worst meat to me.
So
I would not be running through a wall.
Is that a hot take merchant take? You and your ham
I'm a hot ham and cheese merchant. I don't mind a hot ham and cheese sandwich.
Now you're coming around.
Slice it. Nice.
Yeah.
But thicky, no quickie. What? I don't know what I'm saying at this point. Yeah, let's see what happens. Honestly, let's see what happens. If Darvin Ham gets Westbrook defending and willing to go to the bench, then that guy's going to win Coach of the Year next season, because they'll still have a solid team as long as LeBron and AD can stay healthy. That's always the big question with the Lakers. If those two are around, at least you got a chance. And we shall see what happens with Westbrook. Because like Tass is saying, when they won a championship, they played championship level defense. Then they traded all those guys for Russell Westbrook and fell apart completely. I think it's a little bit of wishful thinking, but Darvin Ham, he says, I've seen real pressure in life, so to me this is fun. You've got Dwight Howard there, who did go through stardom, the depths of his career, and now a role player. Exact same with Melo. Like, those are two guys that you could look at and say, that's what I need to do to be successful on this team. So if it doesn't happen next season, it ain't happening. But I don't know. How many times have we said that for Westbrook?
Yeah.
If it doesn't happen next season. If it doesn't happen next season, a little more off-ball movement. He's just got to cut more off the ball.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that's my main takeaway is until that roster improves, there's not a whole lot Darvin Ham can really do to change everything about them to get them from, 33 wins to 60 wins or anything like that. They need better players. They need younger players.
You need Anthony Davis healthy. He did say that.
Thing. Yeah,
I liked him saying that.
Yeah.
You guys got to play.
Yeah,
We're a hell of a lot better when he plays.
Yeah, they are, but they still need more than that. It's all those role players that he brought in last year, Rob Pelinka, that were duds. I mean, he's got to get rid of those. Also, Darvin Ham, shot in the face by accident, he said, April 5, 1988. So when he says he don't feel no pressure, he means it.
Yeah.
He's been there. So I like Stephen A. Smith's like, you ain't going to push this man around physically, mentally, or emotionally. It's true. He's a big presence, and I think that is good. Like I thought you can just tell this guy has been ready for an opportunity like this. He was very well spoken. He said all the right things that you have to say at a press conference. He's not going to throw anyone under the bus or try to make a scapegoat out of anyone.
He's trying to build these guys up,
Exactly.
especially Westbrook. It makes it sound like, well, we're at least going to try and bring him back because we can't trade him for anybody.
Yeah.
And we don't want to include more picks in the future. So let's try and get Westbrook fired up and have him running through.
He's been an assistant coach, so he's seen it all. He's been there. He's been on the championship team there of the Bucks and of the Lakers. The Pistons, excuse me, back in as a player in 2004. So he's ready for this moment, and I wish him all the best. But again, they need a much improved roster as well. So we'll see what they can do in that set.
That's why I was surprised to see a line out there for the Lakers to make the playoffs, which was the favorite. You could bet on the Lakers, yes or no, to make the playoffs, and that is the top 6. And the yes was the overwhelming favorite, which is surprising to me when you look at the Western Conference landscape. Suns, Warriors, Mavs, Grizzlies, Clippers will be back. The Nuggets.
Pelicans?
Yeah, some T-Wolves in there to make the top 6.
Yeah. It's not a lock, but then again, if you have LeBron and you have a healthy AD.
Good odds out there. If you want to bet no, you got some good odds.
Well, related to Darvin Ham and his press conference, Coach don't lie. Sources have told The Athletic that 4-time NBA All-Star Rasheed Wallace has agreed to join the Lakers staff, as part of Darvin Ham's team there. He's going to be an assistant coach, Sheed is. He was most recently an assistant at the University of Memphis under Penny. And he did spend some time, I forgot this, with the Pistons bench. Back in 13-14.
Yeah.
Why did I forget?
Because someone had a big dunk and he was up there jumping around with all the players and that. You don't often see that. So that's why I'm excited to have him back. I think it's going to be great.
Okay, well, Trey, you get us started, though. Thoughts on Sheed joining Darvin Ham's team there in L.A.?
I think exciting news for one day. Assistant coaching news is exciting to read the headline. You see the name. You remember the name. That's awesome. I remember that. And then they're just an assistant coach. Remember when Amari Stoudemire joined the Nets?
Yes.
Remember anything else about Amari Stoudemire joining the Nets?
He sits in the second row. That's weird.
He left the team after the playoffs this year. I didn't know that when I was looking it up today because that's what it is, you know? He signs on. You're like, this is cool. Maybe he'll celebrate a dunk. Hopefully it's Darvin Ham. I would love to see if Darvin Ham can still throw down. That's what he should do at practice. I can still dunk. Can you guys? Anyways, Sheed is cool because I remember him. I remember reading in high school that Rasheed Wallace would be a great coach someday because he knew what every player on the court was supposed to be doing for every play, not just his position. But now that I'm a grown man, I think that should be the bare minimum for an NBA
you are a
player
professional basketball
at this point.
player,
Yes,
yeah.
you should know all of the plays for everybody. I do think it's a little comical if he's coming in specifically to help Anthony Davis because the knock on Rasheed Wallace is that he took too many jumpers and didn't get everything out of his potential, which sounds like someone I know.
Right.
You've even heard suggestions that he's there to help AD with the mental side of the game. Rasheed Wallace had 41 techs in a season and is one of the most notorious slackers of the past 2 decades. But I'm happy he's back as well. I'm super happy. It'll be fun to see him on the bench. And then we're going to have no idea what he's actually doing.
Maybe he'll light a spark under Anthony Davis.
Get some techs.
Unintended, I guess.
They changed the rule basically because of him.
Yeah.
The text to
Unbreakable
maximum of
record.
16. And I remember him also saying, talking about players like Richard Jefferson, him saying most players only play 70-80% of games at full strength, and then they mail in a few. So
I also think it's funny the idea of him coming in to help AD, and hey, maybe he does. Like maybe they just connect or whatever. But Anthony Davis is on the NBA's all-time 75 greatest players. It's not like he's a second-year guy that needs some guidance here. I mean, he just needs to play. When he plays, he's pretty damn incredible. So I think that is funny. But any final thoughts on Sheed joining Ham here?
I think they should turn up the mics on the rims so we can hear Sheed yelling, because there's going to be some yelling.
Some ball don't lie is going to be.
It's going to happen.
Going to be yelled out there.
We could all just see it all on Twitter. Great, ball don't lie, ball don't lie. Let's hear the original.
Okay.
Let's hear it again.
All right. Well, let's hear from everybody out there. Lots of news and notes happening in the NBA during the break in NBA Finals games. Let's hear your opinions on all of those topics. We'll take our first break. When we come back, we're sticking with the Lakers with something very unique when it comes to LeBron James and possibly his foray into podcasting. Don't go anywhere.
Here are a list of my 5 favorite Macs. Number 5, Big Mac. Number 1, combo. That's all you need. Number 4, Mac Airs. That man can sing. Number 3, trucks.
Oh, yeah.
Just like a Mac truck.
Mac truck.
Love
big.
Yeah, love me a long hauler. Number 2, Craig. And number 1, Mac Weldon. Mac Weldon makes all your basics for your wardrobe, but it is absolutely quality clothing. Their track pants are a nice slim fit that don't look like track pants. I feel like I'm J.E. Skeets around wearing my slims around town. You love your little slim track pants.
I mean, I'm slim, man. So.
No, I know, but you like your slim track pants. That's your thing.
That's it. Track pants, yes.
Fit, okay.
Yeah, I don't know.
Slim,
What do you call them? Slim? Sure.
It's your go-to. Anyway, a lot of companies say their clothes are multi-use. You can wear them business, pleasure. Take them to work, take them to the bar. But these ones are definitely that, because they have to have good quality stuff to be able to do that. A high standard to pull that off. And Mac Weldon does that. Same with their shorts. I've been wearing their Ace sweat short. What's the one you wear? The Look up from your computer and tell me what you wear.
My shirts.
No, shorts.
My shorts. So
Mac Weldon, I'm talking about. The Tech Chino shirt.
Yeah.
That's the one.
Tech Chino short.
No,
That's
mine's
the
the
one.
Maverick, isn't it?
No. Anyways,
Well,
I've
it's the
been,
Maverick Tech Chino short.
there you go.
yeah,
Full name.
anyways,
No
I've been
gimmicks.
wearing my Mac Weldon swim trunks to the pool as well. Again, quality, not falling off.
How many shorts did
Fitting
you get?
right.
This is crazy.
2 of 2. I didn't get the Maverick Tech Chino short because they're too long. The name is too long. The short is fine. Anyways, check out their board shorts and swim trunks. A combo of performance stretch and a slick design. They do it all. Get in the pool. Anyways, check out Mac Weldon for yourself and save 20% off your first order. Visit macweldon.com/nodunks and enter promo code NODUNKS. Again, macweldon.com/nodunks and enter promo code NODUNKS for 20% off. Stock up on the warm weather essentials you've been missing.
Any basketball fans at the table?
I like basketball.
There's one.
Sure.
Two.
Yep.
2 or 3, great. Because with Sling TV, you can get every playoff game for the best price, hands down. All for just $35 a month. You'll get all the upsets, the comebacks, buzzer beaters, oops, game 7s, foul outs, tip-offs, crossovers, tech fouls, ejections, dynasty rivalries. You get and 1s, 3s, and if you're lucky, you get a triple-double or a VSP. There's a lot to love about playoff basketball, and you can get it all with Sling for the best price. But there's still more to watch, so just because the season's over doesn't mean you're out for TV. Sling has all your favorite live sports, news, and popular TV shows on channels like ESPN, Tint, Tibus, ESPN, TNT, TBS, MSNBC, CNN, and more. Sling is easy to set up and easy to use. You can stream on any device and record up to 50 hours with included DVR space. And one more time, did I mention you can watch every playoff basketball game for the best price with Sling? We might have 5 to go here, so you want to get in now. Check out sling.com for special offers. Sling, the live TV you'll love for a price you'll love. Try us today, and you'll be slinging when you're winning.
Absolutely love to see the numbers we're doing here on an off day during the NBA Finals. So if you're new to No Dunks here on YouTube, hit that like button and make sure you subscribe and hit that little bell button too, a little notification so you know when we're going live, especially these guys tomorrow from Boston. They don't even know when they're going live. Could be any time in the afternoon. Lee.
Be ready.
You're going to eat the lobster before the show or after the show?
Maybe one and
Or tonight?
maybe sandwich the show around it, you know? Do one before and then one after. Because they're usually not that big either.
You're going to be eating multiple lobster rolls.
Possibly.
All right. Excellent. All right. Well, we got something fun here, Tass, that you put a little work into, and it's got to do with LeBron.
Yeah, LeBron making news. He's not playing, but he's making news. He's been tweeting throughout the playoffs. He's been angry about illegal screens. He's been angry about basketball experts on Twitter, you basketball experts. He's been excited about Darvin Ham as his head coach.
Yes.
And he made some news when he tweeted yesterday, because he teased that he could start his own pod to say all this stuff. He tweeted, jumping on someone's podcast soon. Maybe my own. Well,
Right.
LeBron, we got you. We wanted to make a list for you. All the podcast names you would think about, a little brainstorming session, we got you. Came up with the list. Here are the top 10 names for LeBron's podcast,
Okay.
presented by No Dunks, also a very good podcast. At number 10, The King's Court.
Yeah.
Solid. You know, Bron's in charge. Loves that historical reference. He likes saying the king as well.
Yeah.
I think he'd jump on that one.
I think that's an obvious one. I asked Nora, hey, I heard LeBron's maybe doing a podcast. What do you think he should call it? And she said right away, The King's Court. So it came right to her, top of her mind.
Yeah.
So it's obvious, but it's sometimes the obvious name is the best name.
We'll get to some.
I'm glad
obvious
you put
ones.
it at number 10 because unfortunately this is the perfect name for LeBron's podcast. Guess where basketball's played?
It's on a court.
Oh my goodness,
See?
dude.
Yeah.
It's perfect.
It's
right.
pretty.
we should trademark it right now, so we can't use it.
I'll tell you right now, there's probably 10 NBA podcasts already called The King's Court
Yeah.
or A King's Court or something. But he can get it. He can afford it. He can get the rights.
Interesting you say trademarks, Trey, because at number 9, Taco Tuesday.
Oh, this is brilliant.
Spelled TALK-O. Now, it keeps up the Taco Tuesday brand, which he has been employing with regular tacos, of course, but it might be a little too cute for Bron. And he actually applied for the patent for Taco Tuesday, was rejected. Oh. But the discussion was he just doing that to drum up some social media support for Taco Tuesday? Maybe it just worked anyways. Maybe it worked because we're still talking about it. Taco Tuesday, that's his thing. It would be good because he's got the catchphrase, built in right there.
And so it would only be, I like it too, because I assume this is going to be just once a week. Just on Tuesdays, it's Taco Tuesday.
Coddling these podcasts.
Oh, yeah. I don't think LeBron's built for this type of life that we live. Daily content, 90 minutes every day. He can't do that.
No,
he can't. He's got to start once a week. That's smart.
He's way smarter than us. He would never go 5 days a week.
Right.
And the thing is, yes, maybe you think, he has to go on Tuesdays. Is that constricting himself? Well, you can record any day and just put it up on Tuesday.
Yeah,
sure.
And actually, it's better because you can put it up in the middle of the night on Tuesday. Expands your reach.
Right.
Longer shelf life is what I'm trying to say, instead of doing it at Tuesday at noon like us. You know what I mean?
But you said you like the idea of going Taco Tuesday because you basically have your intro already built. That's
part
like
of
him
it.
screaming Taco Tuesday. And maybe, you get a little brand deal with Taco Bell or something where you're eating tacos while you're podcasting.
That sounds like a no-dunks thing to do. Come up with the name, figure out the rest later.
Oh, yeah. That's what you do.
Yeah, I think it might be a little too cute. But we got some cuties here. Let's go. More cute names. At number 8, some people say LeBron's best skill is his podcasting.
Yeah, that's good.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
It's a good one. Now, it's not catchy, but it might be true. Let's see him on the mic. He might be better at podcasting than basketball, than passing, than scoring.
Wow.
That could be his first podcast. People don't say I score enough or
So
whatever.
he could get a Webby. He's in line for a Webby. You think that's? I mean, we've got a Webby, so
Get in line.
yeah.
Wow. But I guess what you're saying, he might be so good at podcasting that he might go into the Hall of Fame as a podcaster before he goes in as a player.
Wow.
He just
That'd be impressive.
blows us away, yeah.
But I mean, he's the ultimate setup man.
Yeah.
You don't think this is too
passing the podcast?
inside jokey, this title? This is like only 10% of people are getting?
No.
Okay.
This has wide appeal. This has a lot of appeal, and like Tass said, it just flows off the tongue. Unforgettable name for a podcast, especially if you shorten it to its abbreviation, which would be, can you pull me up real quick here, JD, so I can reference LeBron's LBSIHP.
Yeah. Thanks for helping, JD. I think you wanted the graphic back
no,
up.
I said pull me back up. I see what you're
But
saying.
that's what you meant, right?
I did mean the graphic, but I thought it through.
We got some people
My best
say,
skill is my abbreviating.
Yeah. Killed it.
All right.
At number 7, just a pod from Akron. He loves showing love to his roots.
Yeah.
Always says, just a kid from Akron.
Jeez, that looks sort of good, actually.
Just a pod from Akron. What do you think, Lee?
Yeah. I like it because he's trying to play to his humble roots,
Yes.
like he's come from just a little town. He's just from a small town and he just wants to be a potter. He doesn't want his basketball success to be the reason why he's a successful podcast. He wants to be an individually successful podcast, if you know what I mean. I like that one.
Yeah. It's 5 words. It's not too long.
Yeah.
I think that's sort of your max, for being honest. 5, maybe 6, but that one works. It's memorable. I don't mind it.
Some people say LeBron's best skill is naming podcasts. What will it be? This is tough. Well, let's go to number 6.
Okay.
All the King's voices.
Oh, we're back to the King.
Yeah, the King is something I think you would like. This
King's voice.
This is good because this has network in mind.
Okay.
He's creating a whole network. Bronny's getting a podcast.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
So
And
off of all the King's men, of course. Okay.
Rich Paul's getting a podcast. Everybody's getting a podcast.
Right.
So that's the thing. He's always looking to build outwards.
Yeah.
He's not looking just for himself. He's looking to do something huge. Always thinking bigger. So family, friends, beyond. I think there's something here.
I would also like to see him do a version where it's just LeBron playing all the different characters from the LeBron's commercials, where he's like business LeBron, old LeBron,
good.
young LeBron, doing all of those voices. But I do like that he can build the network as well, because I mean, he would give Bronny a rookie podcast, just talk to the other rookies out there.
Yeah. Yeah, and he wouldn't let Bronny screw up by any means. Podcasts don't have to be live. he'd protect his son. This is what I'm thinking. I always
not
think of
ready
the
for
worst
this yet.
case scenario. Maybe Bronny says something dumb.
Right.
But don't
So you can
worry.
edit it out.
Don't worry. It's not live.
Yeah, you don't have the guts to go live like we do. Yeah, I'm talking to 98% of you podcasters out there. Go live with your hot take merchants. Stand by them. Don't edit them out. Sell your Mac Weldons and your Starbucks Buy-It energy drinks live.
Yeah, don't edit them out like JD does
Yeah,
for the rest of the week.
you don't have the guts.
Anyway, at number 5.
I've been thinking about leaning into being a heel podcaster. Like just start.
I thought you started a while ago, Mr. Temper Boy.
No, like just wait, but like take it to the next level. Like just start really like calling out other podcasts. Like just cut a bit on Zach Lowe for 5 minutes, just to drum up more clicks. Just do it for that.
Nothing gets the people going like podcast beefs.
I mean, you got to write.
You'd be surprised.
You got to write songs.
Songs?
Like you have to write rap songs.
What?
Rap diss tracks.
Oh, you want straight up diss tracks? All right.
Of course.
All right, we'll bring back what are we called? Dirty Santa and
Yeah, Young Santa and the Christmas Elf.
No,
that's
no.
JD.
no, I was the creepy
Young Santa, weren't you?
Young Santa is
Yeah.
me.
I was
Yeah.
freaky reindeer.
Reindeer
Yeah,
freak.
yeah.
That's
Reindeer
it.
freak. That's it.
We've already had a heel podcast though.
Go
Shane
ahead.
Hill.
Yeah, good.
That's the Hammer podcast.
Ariel
really.
Hilwani.
Yeah.
A couple times. All right,
We
sorry.
got names. We got
Sorry.
names.
No, I was gonna say something about showing my heel, but I'm not gonna do it.
Okay.
Maybe tweet of the night.
Okay. At number 5. Podcast listeners,
Oh, yeah.
this one's for you.
That's not bad, actually. That's not bad.
Podcast listeners.
Yeah. I mean, a little wordy, sure, but it sort of hits at the
What
same
about just
time.
this one's for you? Is sort of
I think I prefer the podcast listeners because that was Cleveland after he won the championship, wasn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't mind that one.
Post-game interview, yeah, he yells out, Cleveland, this one's for you. So podcast listeners, a little wordy, I get it.
Yeah.
Very specific. But again, a built-in phrase to start the show.
yeah, for
I
sure.
like that. Yeah.
That's always great. I always find that awkward. You guys have your taglines. I don't. The podcast listeners, this one's for you. I might steal that one.
Yeah,
I might
you should
patent
start using that,
I'm going
actually.
to patent that one.
Yeah.
Get you, LBJ.
So every time I say, alongside me as always, Tass Mellis, and you go, podcast listeners, this one's for you.
Why not?
Good energy to start.
Yes, it's very specific.
Does
it's on the nose, but who cares?
Does anybody know Luke Combs? He's a country singer, apparently. I guess he
yeah.
has an album called This One's For You.
Okay.
Just maybe he can link up.
Is that Diddy's son?
Yeah, maybe.
I've seen
He
Luke
looks like him.
Yeah.
All right,
Sean's son Luke.
at number 4, Billionaire Boys Club.
Yeah, don't like this one.
It's gonna be a problem.
I hear you.
Because, like, my immediate reaction is like, so you have to only be a billionaire to go on.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a
And
problem.
Great for LeBron, but it's also a little bit sort of elitist, if you ask me. But it's good. It's a cool name. It's just like
It is a cool name. Pharrell thought of it a long time ago.
Yeah, there'd be some trademark issues
Yeah.
there. There's a clothing line and all that.
Yep.
LeBron is a billionaire, though he might.
Yeah.
It is elitist for sure. It's not inclusive, for billionaires and also for girls. What about the girls?
Sure.
But
Sarah Blakey could go on it.
Yeah.
She's a billionaire.
Well, yeah, she can.
Okay.
I think
Yeah,
the guest
first
list
guest.
is going to be bigger than you're thinking, Lee. You get some incredible guests, even if you're just limiting it to billionaires, and
Yeah.
people would tune in.
Yeah.
And you can lie. Millionaires can be on it.
Well, that's right.
Rich.
That's right. You can be a billionaire on paper, even if you're not necessarily in the cash in your hand, kind. But then what happens if you lose all that? Then your podcast gets cut from the
From the archives.
Yeah.
Drop it from the archives. Well, that's not a bad way of getting on the show. You have to put it on paper that you're a billionaire.
okay, cash in
That-
your assets.
Well,
Bring it in a briefcase.
Yeah, great.
About to show up with $1 billion.
Money in the bank type vibes to it. Yeah.
Yeah, you want some social media love? Get your guests to put it on paper. That'll be everywhere. Lie about it. Who cares?
Yeah,
Anyways,
there is an angle to it. You're right.
Yeah,
You're talking me into it.
at number 3, no dunk contest.
Oh,
That's a
now you're
great-
turning into the heel.
Yeah, now that's self-promotion for the No Dunks podcast, but also everyone's still a little bitter that LeBron James never entered
Yeah.
a dunk contest.
Said he was going to too.
Yeah, and
On air.
yes. Said it to Cheryl.
Cheryl Miller.
If I
Yeah,
do
I think you're
remember
right.
correctly.
He told Cheryl to her face.
Yeah. Was that in Dallas?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Phoenix, no, was it?
Was it? I thought it was Dallas.
It was 09 or 10. Yeah. It was one of those years. Don't matter.
Yeah, that's a great one, though.
That was a good one.
No dunk contest.
Yeah, we just want the hits as well.
Oh,
if
people
no dunk
searching,
contest
yeah.
is created, they're going to start searching no dunk. We're right there, second to no dunk contest, obviously. It's not a bad one.
Yeah.
At number 2,
Oops.
LeBron has a podcast. It's basic, but it's got LeBron in the name. This could be the winner. I think you go simple. As Trey said, the King's Court is a good one, but you might just want LeBron having, all that Google trend search going on. You might want LeBron in the name.
Oh,
We're talking
okay.
SEO, SEO here. That's important.
We're talking CEO.
But let's be. I mean, this one's just. It's boring.
No,
right?
no one's excited
no,
about it.
definitely not excited.
But people beyond LeBron, people Google LeBron podcast.
Yeah.
Boom.
Yeah. Just call it LeBron's podcast.
Yeah.
LeBron has a podcast. It's great. It's great. It's going to get great clicks. You're right. People are going to find it.
Did you hear LeBron has a podcast?
What's it called?
Works in 2 different sentences.
Yeah, nice. And we needed a boring one for number 2.
That's what you do. That's the
in
Letterman
honor
move.
of
Yeah.
in honor of David.
Yeah.
Wait, I thought Letterman always put the best joke
Oh
at
yeah.
number 2.
Yeah. Should have been number
Good
1.
call, Tess.
Yeah, that's a good one. At number 1, The Chosen Pod. Now, I think he
Get
could
the
go with
tattoo.
this one. Trey, you scoffed, but I think he'd like this one. He calls himself the Chosen One.
Yeah.
It makes you feel good that you got the Chosen Pod, I
Yeah. It
guess.
feels like it's the best one already.
Right. There's a lot better names, but the Chosen Pod, it just rolls off the tongue. Maybe because he is the Chosen One.
Well, what he would do if he was smart, if he went with that one, someone get the Photoshop boys to change that back tattoo, put the Chosen Pod, make it seem like he changed his tattoo, get that going viral. People are going crazy. What's this all about? And then boom,
It's a good start.
drop the first episode.
Yeah, instead of the Michael Jordan facts, I'm back. Spread that tattoo around.
Right.
It'll get around.
Wow, LeBron changed his tattoo.
changed
This is
his
the
tattoo.
Chosen Pod. What does that mean? He's got a podcast.
The Chosen Tat.
What's it called? LeBron has a podcast. Oh, damn it.
Okay, in summary, the best names for LeBron's new podcast. We've got 10 of them for you. At 10, The King's Court. At 9, Talk-O Tuesday. At 8, some people say LeBron's best skill is his podcasting. At number 7, Just a Pod from Akron. At number 6, All the King's Voices. Network potential. Think about it, LeBron. At number 5, podcast listeners, this one's for you. I'm stealing that. At number 4, Billionaire Boys Club. At number 3, No Dunk Contest. At number 2, LeBron has a podcast. And number 1, The Chosen Pod. There you go, LeBron.
Wow. Just doing free work for LeBron James. Look at that list.
Yeah,
Great ideas.
Shout out to everybody who's throwing out the names on Twitter. Our man Kenny Beecham was asking
Yep.
people on Twitter. Well done, everybody.
All right. And if you have a new suggestion or a fresh suggestion, drop it in the stream team right now.
There's a great one we missed.
Oh,
Many have said it. I think Sam was the first. The basketball James. how do we miss it?
Wow.
How do we miss
It's
it?
right there.
Yeah.
very good.
TBJ, come on.
That's good. Wow. Yeah. Okay. Well,
Good
add it to the list there. If you have other ones, drop them in the stream team. Drop them in the YouTube comments. Tweet at us at NoDunksInc. And make sure you tag at King James when you do that as well, so he sees that. All right. Let's take our final break. When we come back, tweet of the night, and then we'll wrap this baby up. Don't go anywhere. I am pumped to tell you all about the new Starbucks Baya energy drink because, well, I just had a new Starbucks Baya energy drink. Yeah, this
Tasty?
morning. Oh, very tasty. Caffeine naturally found in coffee fruit. It's energy that's good. It's that good energy. Each 12-ounce, 90-calorie can contains 160 milligrams of caffeine and includes 3 delicious fruity flavors, each one similar to your favorite No Dunks podcaster. Listen to this breakdown. Eat your heart out, Mike Schmitz. This is comparison work here. AKOC, watch this. There's mango guava. That would be Lee. Because it sounds exotic.
Okay.
There's raspberry lime. Raspberry lime. That's Trey. Very sweet. but if you push his buttons, he's a little tart.
Nice, I like that.
Very well done.
And finally, Tess, your pineapple passion fruit.
Thanks.
Tough exterior, but once you crack it, this guy's the best. There you go.
What about you? They need a fourth flavor.
They don't have a fourth. But
fifth.
Starbucks Baya energy drink packs energy and flavor that gives me the boost when gearing up to watch the big basketball game, head to the Classic Factory here to podcast, or just bouncing around from meeting to meeting. Yeah, believe it or not, we have meetings
Bouncing.
when it comes to this show. I just literally booked a meeting for us tomorrow.
saw that.
I added you. It's in your calendar.
I already clicked yes.
Okay, good. JD, you too, man. So you can't, don't have anything at 2 o'clock tomorrow. We have a meeting.
I'm clear.
Maybe have a Starbucks Baya energy drink.
Did you check my calendar?
I didn't. It's handy and always ready to boost my day as well as yours. Starbucks Baya energy drink is available online. It's at grocery stores, convenience stores, and gas stations nationwide.
It felt like summer yesterday. Hot weather, kids in the inflatable pool, Grateful Dead on the radio, and some Omaha steaks on the grill. Nice little Sunday. I thought I was a step ahead of the game for this ad read until I found out that I wasn't the only no-dunker getting busy on the grill with my Omaha steaks. Skeets, he'd already thrown down a filet mignon.
Yep.
JD was getting ready to barbecue some burgers.
Yeah, it was.
And Tass had seemingly already sampled all of the various meats.
No doubt.
In the Dad's Want Steaks package. He even tried the caramel apple tartlets. Oh, I don't know that we've ever been more prepared for an ad read. For just $99, the limited time Dad's Want Steaks package includes 16 mouth-watering entrees like smoky, tender, bacon-wrapped filet mignons, gourmet jumbo franks, and their air-chilled, boneless chicken breasts. And for a sweet finish, yeah, it's Gary's favorite, caramel apple tartlets.
A direct line to my heartlet. Those caramel apple tartlets. Never seen that word before, but I like it.
They're good.
Tarts to the hearts. But as a special gift for my listeners,
Yours?
when you type my listeners specifically, I asked for this promo code, Skeets.
Okay.
When you type no dunks in the search bar and order the Dad's Want Steaks package, you'll also get 8 free Omaha Steaks burgers because I asked for them for you, Dads. Don't wait. Send Dad more than just a gift. Send him an experience he'll love and will likely share with you. Your dad's hooking you up with a steak or a frank, maybe even a tartlet. Go to omahasteaks.com and type no dunks into the search bar. Order the Dad's Want Steaks package. You'll get 16 entrees, 4 desserts, plus 8 free Omaha Steaks burgers. Omaha Steaks isn't just steak, it's the best steak of your life, guaranteed. That's omahasteaks.com. Use my personal keyword, no dunks.
All right, we just had a big brainstorming session trying to name LeBron's potentially new podcasts. Well, in other NBA podcast news, I just saw this come through my Twitter timeline. There's an article on Patrick Beverley in the Washington Post today, and there's a little part that's been pulled and shared on Twitter. It says, this is Beverley, Patrick Beverley, "I'm not a big podcast guy. If I did it, I'd kill it. And I mean, if it's for the right price, I'm going to do it, and I'm going to do it well. But I'm not going to Best Buy trying to set up a podcast." End quote there from Patrick Beverley in this Washington Post article. You know, talking about being, it's titled that he's sort of the say anything star of the NBA playoffs, but not a big podcast guy, Beverley. Though if he did it, he'd be the best.
But he wouldn't go to Best Buy.
No, he's not going to Best Buy to buy the microphones and the cables and all that. No.
Okay.
Anyway.
All right. Right. Well,
That's a good step, actually. I wouldn't go to Best Buy either to get the gear to do a podcast.
Oh, yeah, why?
They just sell crap. Like, you want to go to, a Longa McQuaid or something like that, like an actual audio recording store.
see, he's
Guitar Center.
So
even.
nothing we have here in the Classic Factory is from Best Buy. Can we confirm that?
Coffee maker, maybe.
Okay. Let's get to Tweet of the Night.
Tweet of the night. Wow.
Tweet of the night, just a quick follow-up. moment here. Also, feed of the night. Here you go, sickos. There's my heel. It's a heel podcast. On to tweet of the night. Pat Riley did a press conference yesterday. 77-year-old man speaking about the Miami Heat. Some great quotes. Got two of them that I pulled for you here. I thought were the best ones. This one comes from Will Manso down there at the Heat here in this press conference. Riley was asked about running it back with the current team. He said, with regards to running it back with the current Heat team, I run it back with my wife every week.
My wife.
He did say it. My wife. Nobody knew that Pat Riley could do a Borat. But just like Patrick Beverley with podcasting, he did it for the right price and he killed it. Yep. The number 2 quote, actually number 1 in my heart. Pat Riley, 77-year-old man. This one comes from Tim Reynolds at by Tim Reynolds with the AP. Pat says he ain't going anywhere. I'm 77 years old and right now, I can do more push-ups than you can right now. He also basically called Kyle Lowry fat and said he's going to have to lose weight for next season. Just a tour de force from Riley. So my questions to you guys. How many push-ups can you do and how often do you run it back with your wife?
Oh, wow.
That's what I love about that wife comment. He was being real. He runs it back with his wife every week. You know?
I'm busy.
Yeah, it's like we're not doing it every day. Okay, every week. Keeping it real, not lying whatsoever, and that's why he's not lying also about the push-ups. I don't know who is he talking
Ira
to.
Winderman.
Yeah, he said
guaranteed it was Ira Winderman.
Oh, he's going right at Ira.
Yeah.
Ira, excuse
Got
me.
you right in the Ira. I thought he could be doing it to Tim Reynolds there. I guess he can probably do more push-ups than me. I'm guessing 77-year-old
shape.
Pat.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, if he's calling people out, he wasn't asked how many push-ups he can do. He just said, "Hey, you, I can do more push-ups than you, and you, and you, and you."
He also had another line that I loved about the loss stinging still there in the conference finals to the Celtics. The dragon hasn't left my body yet from the loss.
The way he spoke about it as well. Like, this
What a
guy
line.
has won everything. You know, he's been around forever. Eastern Conference Finals loss, and he's like, man, this one's getting to me, though.
This is when it gets thrown around all the time. Heat culture. Heat culture is just Pat Riley being a complete psycho at 77, like in the best way possible. Like he's such a competitor.
Because he basically said to Tyler Hero and Duncan Robinson, you guys owe Bam half your salary, by the way.
Didn't say that.
So pay him.
Said, Tyler Hero, you want to start? Come on in training camp. Get the damn position.
Yeah.
Called him out. You said already to Kyle Lowry. He's got to be in better shape. He did not hold back.
Yeah, you could see him in that huddle when Jimmy Butler was yelling at the team, ready to fight Jimmy Butler. He would throw down with Jimmy.
I think you're probably right. He probably would fight Jimmy. I was thinking he would be on the same side, but he would not take sides against the Heat.
No.
Yeah.
We got to see him do some push-ups, though.
Yeah.
Like Clint Eastwood bragged about doing push-ups once, and then he did like one-arm push-ups at the Oscars or something, right?
Oh, yeah.
We got to see Pat Riley doing some push-ups. More than at least one reporter. Cooper Moorhead, he's a Heat guy. I think he's got to be the one. It's got to be a local employee going one-on-one push-up for push-up.
All right.
I think Coop's got some push-ups in him.
Yeah, he looks strong.
Maybe not Pat Riley. How many can Pat Riley do that he's calling people out?
I don't know.
50?
Oh, I
That's
think
a
it has
lot.
to be 50, because that's a good, respectable amount for a 77-year-old guy.
Yeah,
It's
it
a
also
good, respectable amount for anybody.
It feels like he's been. I have no idea if this is true, but my gut says Pat Riley's been waking up every day for the past 50 years, drops to the ground and does like whatever 500 push-ups or something. That's like he's like a bit of a psycho that way.
Yeah, Richard Branson does something similar like that. Yeah.
There you go.
And he doesn't have a runner beside his bed. He does it on the hardwood.
Yeah.
Or the stone beside his bed. There's no
carpet,
cushion.
you're saying?
Yeah.
Man, think of the intensity in the Miami Heat organization with Riley, Alonzo Mourning, and then really Haslam. I mean, I know he's on the team, but he's basically
an
an assistant
extension,
coach.
yeah.
And then Spoelstra, too.
All right, this is weird, but you can find out how many push-ups Clint Eastwood used to be able to do. At 74, he said he could do 30 push-ups.
Oh, okay.
Clint Eastwood's a strong guy. He said he used to do 1,000 push-ups a day. So, I mean, 50 I think would be a nice over-under for Riley. If he hits the over, that'd be nice.
I think I'd hit the over, honestly, with Riley. He looks in good shape. But he's old. I mean, 77. I would have
77.
not guessed he was 77, though, either.
Maybe he does like one per year. You know, like next year he's doing 78.
Yeah, maybe. Oh, yeah. Nice. All right. Great tweet of the night. I was hoping we were going to get a little Riley talk in today's show, and we did. Let's call it there, though. These guys got to get their asses to Boston.
Yeah, speaking of Boston, I actually found something last night in the archives from the last time we were in Boston for the No Season Required tour. I found the lobster roll there from Neptune's. Got a photo of it.
What? I can't believe you.
I know. I found it there. So, not a bad-looking lobster roll.
Looks pretty bad.
Not a great photo, if I'm being honest.
Look,
Awful photo.
not a great photo, but you can see there. But I also
Looks
found
like you regurgitated your food onto like a hot dog.
I also found another photo that was a little funnier here, just from the notes.
Okay.
Look at Matt there. Now, this is in the karaoke bar there in New York. But look at him just
Weird photo
perusing.
this is, too. And that's
Only
you,
close-ups.
that's you in the background.
That's
isn't it?
right, yeah.
Is that a Basketball James t-shirt? You already got one of LeBron's
I
podcast
have no
shirts?
idea who would have taken this photo because it was on my camera, so someone else has taken it.
I like to think you have a selfie stick going under the tape to be able to get that sick snap of an empty Bud Light.
Oh, what song is Matt perusing for
Look
there?
at the eyes there.
Turning his nose up at
Yeah.
every song
No.
in the binder.
Not doing
Nope.
that one.
Nope. It's
Know that one too well.
Yeah.
like an optical illusion there
I
with
thought
the
you were
bottles.
I thought the show in Boston, or the photo you were going to show, I should say, is the fat heads or the big heads, where you're
yeah.
holding. I think it's me and
There's a few.
Pass's head. I
There's
don't know. There's a pic of you holding two of our giant heads.
Yeah.
That
I know
people brought to
Rondo,
us at that
Pierce,
show.
and Garnett, I think, were the ones. I can't remember who. Yeah, they're there somewhere.
Yeah.
I'll see if I can dig one out. But
I'm sure you have it.
not as fun as a lobster roll.
Are you guys excited for Boston?
Very excited.
Okay. And you got to get to the airport so you can have a pizza.
Yeah, we'll see. Yeah. I don't know if I have usually it's a late in the evening, and it's also a glass of wine with JD, you know.
Evening
So,
pizza.
JD, you want to come along and have a glass of wine this afternoon?
Just go through security and have a glass of wine and an entire Verasano's pizza, and then
I
just
love
leave.
this place.
This place is great.
I'm just saying. I'll be there if you want to come along.
Only if the piano player is playing, because that's a nice touch as well. Yeah, a live grand piano being played. It was the most romantic night in the last 10 years, I think I've had. Yeah.
You guys having wine,
Just us
pizza
drinking
in
wine.
the airport.
Yeah.
Oh, come on, you running back with your wife every week, JD.
Tried to. Put it on the calendar.
All right, guys. Again, follow all of our accounts is what I'm trying to say on social media at No Dunk Sink, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, the YouTube channel here, because we got the YouTube Shorts. I think these guys are going to take advantage of, because Leigh and Trey will be dropping content all week long as they head to Boston here for games 3 and 4. Really excited to see what you guys get up to. Email in your NBA questions to nodunks@theathletic.com. Get yourself an Athletic subscription if you don't have one of those. Go to theathletic.com/nodunks.
I know this is very impromptu, JD, but if you can have a zoom in of me.
He found something. Yeah,
This is
okay.
the last time we were at Verasano's together.
Oh my god. How do you do this? How do you find these so quick?
So you can see.
Okay, for the podcast listeners, Leigh has found a photo, of JD with a red glass of red wine and a pizza, and
there's that
looks
piano.
happy.
There's the
piano.
There's the piano. Oh my god, the happiest he's ever been in 10 years.
Yeah.
Remember that the potions we were talking about on the Drop podcast where you could just teleport to any airport?
That's why he picked it. Yeah.
Skip security to sit at the piano, eat some pizza.
All right. Again, no show tomorrow morning here from the Classic Factory at 10 a.m. Eastern. Instead, Trey and Leigh a little bit later in the afternoon. Hit that notification button, subscribe to No Dunks on YouTube, obviously subscribe to the podcast, and you'll be alerted when these guys are live and when it gets posted. Okay, until tomorrow, Clipper Bros.
You heard it here first. Have a great time. Turn up. Love you guys. Awesome.
Thanks for joining us, and remember, we'll be posting some YouTube shorts. And Mac Weldon, what are you waiting for? Sponsor our YouTube Shorts channel. Come on, we just talked about Weldon shorts for an hour.
Embrace the day, people.